goodness. At least, it is not as bad as AEW Dynamite. It's still not a good show, but it's not as bad as AEW Dynamite on TBS, TNT, and streaming on Max. Ladies and gentlemen, we have one more week. One more week till WrestleMania 41. And I just want it to be over. I want it to be over. I want to get to Vegas. I want to get through this. I'm not feeling it. I am completely over the WrestleMania build. It wasn't a complete disaster tonight. Rey Fenix, great match. Cody Rhodes, great promo. And Lyra and Bayley, they showed up and showed out tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to the venue where it's always truth. And the beverages are cold. And when I get there on this Friday night, I want to know, what the fuck are you guys drinking? I'll see you over there.
Why has Triple H been so successful? Why is Triple H running WWE better than Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard on Monday and Friday night? Long-term booking.
What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your Friday Night SmackDown Post Show for April 11th, 2025. I am your host, JD from New York. As always, coming to you live from the OTS venue inside my mother's basement. Thank you guys so very much for joining me on this very rainy evening in New York City. Wherever you may be, man. What is with the weather all week, man? I feel like I haven't seen the sun. I feel like I haven't seen the sun in like 5 days. The Dark Horse is ready in real life, because you guys see it every night. The Dark Horse is ready to hit the streets. I need some sun. It's not going to come out unless it's like a 75-degree absolutely beautiful sunny day in New York City. I wish I could say the same thing about Friday Night SmackDown, man. I wish it was a beautiful sunny SmackDown on Friday. It wasn't a bad show tonight. It wasn't dynamite. But I am struggling to really care about anything on this show. I just don't care. You know, we're 1 week away. This was the go home to the go home show. We're 1 week away from WrestleMania. And I know last year going into WrestleMania, the last 2 weeks, I mean, we were given rock concerts and we were given this just sheer excitement about what was happening leading into Philadelphia. And WWE's got to bend the knee to John Cena and his movie schedule. And he can't make Friday Night SmackDown to stand face-to-face with Cody Rhodes or do something, an angle, or build more of a story on Friday Night SmackDown before WrestleMania. So we as fans are subjected to Cody playing with his toys, really. He brought out every era's WWE championship. And he went over how important each one of them were. And mentioned a legacy superstar that went with each. One of which was the John Cena spinner belt, which was the championship of that particular era. A championship that John Cena has made a part of this storyline where he is going to ruin professional wrestling. I just wish that he was there or on the show to really nail that one particular statement home. And he wasn't on tonight's show, and that's why I put in the thumbnail, which is only a temporary thumbnail for tonight's stream, Cody tonight played Batman without his Joker. It's exactly what it was. Cody was tasked on taking us from the last segment that we got on into the next week, where we will see John Cena next week in Las Vegas, of course, because it is WrestleMania weekend. But in Seattle, tonight, he couldn't be bothered to show up. So Cody, what I thought he did tonight, I thought it was admirable. I thought it was a solid promo. Cody is a great storyteller, and I'm very much looking forward to the story that they tell next Sunday. I just can't wait for it to be over. And I can't wait to get into WrestleMania, walk out of WrestleMania, and begin the road after WrestleMania. Can't wait to get there, because I'm not feeling much of anything, especially on Friday night. Randy Orton. That was the big question mark coming into tonight's show. What is the follow-up to Randy Orton after he delivered the RKO to Nick Aldis? People ran with the speculation online that it would be Randy Orton versus Nick Aldis at WrestleMania 41 because Orton doesn't have anybody else, anybody better. Who better than Nick Aldis? I thought we were going to get some answers going into tonight's show. I feel like we didn't really get much of anything in regards to Randy Orton. They certainly teased a Randy Orton-Nick Aldis match, or at least Orton did. WWE certainly teased a WrestleMania match, one in particular that I don't want to see. I know you guys feel the same way. But coming out of this show, Randy Orton still does not have a WrestleMania match. Now, I gave you a list of ideas for Randy Orton at WrestleMania. Nick Aldis was one of them. Solo Sikoa was not one of them. Malachi Black was one of them. Or Aleister Black. We've been calling him Malachi for about 4 years now. Aleister Black. I don't really know where else he would fit in on the WrestleMania card. But just by first glance about what we were given tonight, if the idea is to do Randy Orton versus Solo Sikoa, I would rather Randy Orton miss WrestleMania completely. And I'm a big Randy Orton guy. I would rather them not even bother. Nobody wants it. Nobody wants to see it. Solo Sikoa certainly this year, from what he has done, does not deserve a WrestleMania match. Unless you give Orton a big-time WrestleMania match or could come up with something big-time for him in the next 7 days, I don't really care to see Randy Orton versus Solo Sikoa. So you guys can keep that on the back burner. Way, way, way on the back burner. Nobody wants to see that. If you want to do Nick Aldis, I'll take it. It's only going to mean a Randy Orton victory anyway. And it gives Nick Aldis some time to shine away from the GM role that they have him doing. 36-year-old Nick Aldis, who is very much not retired. I would take it, seeing that the circumstances are the circumstances, with Kevin Owens not being able to wrestle. I'm not asking for a long-term, drawn-out, elaborate story. We get it. But Solo Sikoa ain't it. And nobody wants to see it. The women had a very lackluster gauntlet match. Lyra, Valkyria, and Bayley lead the charge. They enter as the first team, and they enter winning the entire tournament, outlasting 5 other teams in the women's tag team division, if you even want to call it that. Lyra and Bayley got their WrestleMania moment, and they are getting a shot at Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. So, the Judgment Day. Get on the WrestleMania card via the ladies, on top of Dominic and Finn Balor getting their WrestleMania match for the IC title. Judgment Day is going to be busy. Poor Carlito. But Lyra and Bayley are the new #1 contenders for the women's tag team championships. I mean, I don't care. I mean, I genuinely, this is what really sets me and everybody else apart, man. You can sit there and do a reaction on Twitch or upload some fake reaction on TikTok or whatever the case may be. I genuinely don't know how one could fake a genuine reaction to this. I don't, or why they would. I know why they are going to do that. I don't know why you put yourself in that embarrassing situation. I don't know who genuinely would be excited about any of this. I don't care. None of this matters. The tag team division is fucking worthless. I don't really understand why this is the best that they've decided upon. I genuinely wonder what the real WrestleMania 41 card would look like if all the pieces fell into the way WWE wanted them to. Where is Becky? Where is Alexa? Where is Nikki Cross? Where's Alexa's finality with the Wyatt Six? I know a lot of people are like, well, where's Alexa? Where's Nikki Cross? Why isn't Alexa with the Wyatt Six? Why aren't they challenging for the tag team championships? Beats the fuck out of me. Was The Rock supposed to wrestle? Was he supposed to wrestle Roman? Was he supposed to wrestle Cody? It felt that way. Was it supposed to be Punk and Rollins? What about Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns? I genuinely don't think that this WrestleMania card was the one that they planned since October. I do think things happened and things got fucked up. I just don't know how anybody could genuinely give a shit about half the fucking matches that are going to take place next weekend. Not that I think it's going to be a bad show. Looking at it on paper, it really looks like a fucking Saudi show in front of 60,000 people in Las Vegas. I'm not moved. I genuinely am not moved. And I doubt anybody else is, but they'll fake it for a fucking reaction. SmackDown is not moving. It is not compelling. It is not exciting. It is not good television, especially at 3 hours. They take such a simplistic approach on Friday Night SmackDown that it bores me to fucking tears, and I would rather be doing anything else than watching wrestling on Friday night. I said this about AEW on Wednesday, man. Fuck with me a little bit. Give me something to actually think about. Give me something to sink my teeth into. It genuinely feels that WWE, they feel like they're on top of the mountain, and no matter the product that they put out there, people are going to eat it up because it's WWE, and they can't be worse than AEW. Look at how many people we're fitting into Allegiant Stadium. We got 50,000 people for each night. Meanwhile, it costs a fucking open heart surgery to go to WrestleMania this season, to sit in the fucking nosebleeds. It's not good television, bro. It's not. I am not moved. The only thing I'm moved by is CM Punk. That's it. Roman Reigns, Paul Heyman, Seth Rollins. You got me on board 3 weeks ago with Jey Uso and Gunther. The Royal Rumble happened in February. And you're just now getting me moved. You're moving me as of 3 weeks ago. Cody Rhodes and John Cena. I have been moved. I enjoy both men and their work. But if you want me to compare Cody's road into this year's WrestleMania, comparing it to last year's WrestleMania, I am not moved. I'm not. I don't know what they have planned next week. I don't know what they have as far as an ace in the hole or an ace up their sleeve, but something's got to fucking happen, man. Something's got to happen. You got to fuck with me. You got to fuck with the fans a little bit, man. You got to give us something substantial to sink our teeth into, man, and get us talking from night one going into night two and then night two going into Monday Night Raw. You got to. You got to. I can't come on here and fake excitement. I can't come on here and give you guys anything but how I'm genuinely feeling. If I did the opposite, you'd see right through me. I cannot sit here and fake excitement. I am not moved. I am not burnt out. I am not a miserable fuck. I am not moved by anything that is happening right now in both companies. Never mind WWE. In both companies. Which is why I don't understand people glazing these multi-billionaires and then not doing any wrong. The shows are boring. It's the same shit. There's no risks. There's nothing compelling. I get it. Not every show needs to be a fucking compelling masterpiece like you're fucking trying to win an Academy Award. But Jesus Christ, man, give me something. Something. I got nothing. I got nothing. I got nothing but feeling empty after watching 3 hours of a nothing show. Can't wait for WrestleMania season to be over. I can't. Can't wait for it to be over. Last year, I couldn't get enough of it. This year, I can't wait for it to be over. Let's get through it. Let's get into Vegas. Let's get out of Vegas and start the road to WrestleMania 42 fresh. Whatever happens on the Raw after Mania, I'm not even giving them the benefit of the doubt. I'm not even having that much hope in the Raw after Mania because of the way we've been given this WrestleMania season. Why get excited about that when they haven't given you much of anything on this WrestleMania road? Just can't do it. We're going to talk about SmackDown tonight. There were a couple of things I enjoyed about tonight's show. We will definitely get into those, and we will talk Friday Night SmackDown here tonight on Off the Script. Thank you guys very much for joining me here on your Friday nights. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. Go check out the content on the channel. We were busy this week. 3 incredible streams. Monday, we were live for Raw. Monday's Raw review included an opening tribute to the one and only Kevin Castle. Go check that out. We lost our dear friend Kevin Castle, one of the most prominent figures in the wrestling community, at 56 years old. Make sure you guys go watch Tuesday Night Titans, episode 90, with me and the Solomonster. Some great discussion over there. We'll be back at it on Tuesday this coming week with WrestleMania predictions. It'll be the WrestleMania 41 version or episode of Tuesday Night Titans. And then Wednesday, Jesse and I were live for AEW Dynamite. What a dog shit episode. And we talked about Dynamite. You guys are blowing the AEW numbers away. We are, by far and away, the #1 AEW watched podcast in the entire community, and there is no one even close. I take great pride in that, man, because you ain't going to get the truth from maybe 1 or 2 other podcasts. Outside that, everybody's glazing a fucking multi-billionaire that doesn't give a fuck about you. So thank you. Today we reached number 23 on the iTunes wrestling podcast charts in the United States. That's the highest we ranked so far this year. You guys want to continue the support over there and to see OTS climb the ranks even further, man. You guys are listening on iTunes or iHeartRadio or wherever you may be getting this audio. Leave me a rating, leave me a comment. Everything helps us out in the algorithm and tells all those fine people, hey, maybe we should listen to this guy. Super chats are open. Get them on in. We're having a tremendous month of April already, man. So get them on in. It's the best way to support the show. Go subscribe to the second channel. We are on our way to 12,000 subscribers over there, man. Some great content going up over there. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. And make sure you guys check out my sponsor for tonight's show, Z-Biotics. Tonight, they are sponsoring the show right here on Off the Script. We'll talk about my friends over at Z-Biotics a little bit later on in tonight's SmackDown Post. SmackDown opens up with the one thing that everybody wanted to really know about coming out of last week's show, and that was Nick Aldis and Randy Orton. Nick Aldis was already in the ring, and there was already loud Randy chants. Everybody wanted to see Orton. Aldis has a microphone and says he was instructed to maintain his professionalism because he's a man of his word. He invited Randy Orton to come to the ring. Nick Aldis was not happy. Orton makes his way out to the ring. Crowd was very excited to see Orton. Orton says he could tell by the way Aldis looks in the eyes that he took last week very, very personally. Orton recalled how he gave Aldis an RKO a year ago, and he paid a fine. Orton said he paid a fine for last week's RKO, and because of that, they are even. If you guys remember, it was about a year and a half ago, where Orton RKO'd Nick Aldis right on SmackDown, and he paid a $50,000 fine. And they brought that back. They cycled back, and they made mention of that little caveat. Orton paid double. He fined, Nick Aldis did, fined Randy Orton $50,000, but Orton gave him $100,000. And Nick Aldis says, what's the extra $50,000 for? Because I'm paying that one now because you're going to have probably somewhere in the future another one to look forward to. So they did a nice callback to the statement that Randy Orton gave about a year and a half ago for Nick Aldis. Oh, my goodness, man. We got a nice $50 super chat here by the one and only Mike L.
Give me a hell yeah. I said give me a hell yeah.
Absolutely. Mike L with a $50 bomb here tonight. JD, I was sorry to hear about Kevin. I hope you're doing okay. I lost my dad in November. Listening to OTS TNT has been something that helps me get through some very tough days. Appreciate you so much for that. Hang in there, brother. OTS for life. Listen, man. Appreciate you. Thank you so much, Mike. I appreciate you being here, man. And thoughts and prayers to you, man. I'm sorry about the loss of your dad in November, man. Thank you for being here, and thank you for being a part of this great community. A little mini bomb there by Mike L. So, yeah, we got Randy Orton. Nice callback to the $100,000 fine that he paid Nick Aldis. So he basically paid him up front for an RKO that had not been delivered yet, and that was delivered last week. So Orton said he wanted to speak to Aldis about not having a match at WrestleMania. Orton said it would be his 20th time competing at WrestleMania, and Orton needed Aldis to do his job and get him an opponent for Las Vegas. Orton said he didn't know who it could be. He don't know what that looks like. Perhaps Aldis could lose the suit for the night and gear up for WrestleMania 41. Now, that's definitely one of the options that WWE has. I'll get to that in a second. That was the choice coming out of last week that everybody was looking at because that's the only thing WWE gave us. Aldis says he's busted his ass for 20 years to make it to the WWE. He paused. Crowd booed. Aldis says he didn't need Orton's money. He needed Orton's respect. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my fucking goodness. This guy, holy shit.
I drank a beer.
Oh, my.
I drank another beer. 3 beers. 4 beers.
Oh, no.
5 beers.
Oh, no.
6 beers. 7 beers. 8 beers. 9 beers. And a Bloody Mary.
Oh, my goodness. Best in the world, Matt, with a $300 super chat. Oh, my goodness. Just got out of New Japan's Windy City Riot show in Chicago. An electric night of pro wrestling, with this being Hiroshi Tanahashi's last match in the USA. Thank you, Tanahashi, and I love all of you in the venue tonight. Next stop is Backlash in St. Louis for Cena. Oh, yeah, JD, put this towards Jose the Assistant. Oh, my goodness. Best in the world, Matt, has spoken. And if you got a problem with that...
And, of course, if you're not down with that, we got 2 words for you.
Oh, my goodness, man. Best in the world, Matt. Thank you so much, brother. Appreciate you being here tonight. That is fucking crazy, man. You guys are awesome. Best in the world, Matt, with a $300 bomb. Jose the Assistant, man. We're trying to get him here. I didn't really mention it here tonight, but I'm looking to fund Jose to get him here. I'm looking to get him a flight and a hotel so that we can do this Chris Van Vliet-like interview with Jose, man. Some dirt on AEW. We got some great questions already lined up, man. So hopefully you guys can get on board with that. Matt, thank you so much, brother. Glad you had a great time at the New Japan show in Chicago. So Orton said Aldis has his respect, but if Aldis doesn't deliver on a match for Orton, he can't apologize to Mickie James for what he's going to do if he doesn't get his match. So he's already brought the wife into the picture. He's already taking personal shots at Nick Aldis by mentioning Mickie James. Solo Sikoa's music hits, and the entire fucking segment goes from a high to a very serious low. Not that I have a problem with Solo. I think Solo last year did some great work. I thought he was a great leader for what they asked him to be in the Bloodline 2.0. This year, it's just not that desirable to see Solo Sikoa in anything meaningful right now. We're waiting on Solo and Jacob Fatu. We don't need to see Solo and Randy Orton. So Solo Sikoa comes out. He walks out with Tama Tonga. No Jacob Fatu. Solo told Aldis to tell Orton to get out of the ring. Solo said nobody wanted to hear Orton cry. He said nobody cares if Orton has a WrestleMania match, and it's all over for Randy Orton. It's all over for him because he's the past. Solo said Jacob Fatu will walk out of Mania as the new United States champion, while Orton will be sitting at home all alone. Orton said it was funny that they had the balls to interrupt him. Orton talked about how his voices have been knocking, and he invited them into the ring to beat two Samoan boys up. Solo and Tama Tonga stepped into the ring, and the numbers got the best of Orton. Aldis just sat at ringside watching this happen 2-on-1. LA Knight comes running out for the save, and LA Knight, Randy Orton, got the best of Solo and Tama Tonga, which then led LA Knight to grab a microphone and said again and again and again, it's the same damn thing. You ain't kidding, brother. You ain't kidding. With Solo and Tama Tonga. Knight challenged Solo and Tama Tonga to a match between them, and it would be him teaming with Randy Orton. Aldis made the match official for later. You know, I get a lot of people. There are a pocket of fans on social media that are big advocates for Solo Sikoa. I have no problem with Solo Sikoa. I have a problem with the way Solo Sikoa has been booked in 2025. If you think that Solo Sikoa and the way he has been booked in 2025 deserves a WrestleMania match, then you are absolutely out of your mind. Nobody wants to see Solo Sikoa at WrestleMania. Nobody wants to see him wrestle at WrestleMania. And nobody wants to see him in a ring with Randy Orton at WrestleMania. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. That's just the facts. Randy Orton does not deserve a WrestleMania match with Solo Sikoa. If that is the best you have for Randy Orton, then I would prefer Randy Orton be left off the card and we just go into Vegas with what we have already been given. You only have two options here for Randy Orton. Three options. One, keep him off the card. Two, Nick Aldis. Three, Aleister Black. Now, Aleister Black is the fan favorite in the IWC, but one thing comes with that match being made potentially, as far as an open challenge, or anybody for that matter, in an open challenge. They more than likely will be losing. So Malachi or Aleister might not be the best choice because you don't really want to reintroduce him, even though he get the big WrestleMania reemergence. You don't want to reintroduce him to the audience and then have him in his first match back lose to Randy Orton. Unless there's a long-term storyline there, I don't know if that is the best move to make. Then on the other hand, you got Nick Aldis. Nick Aldis and Randy Orton have a little bit of history. Nick Aldis and Randy Orton have had this back and forth, whether it's Orton and Aldis and their problems or the bloodline problems. Aldis has seen it all. This could be a great way to get Nick Aldis back into a WWE ring and get him out of the GM role and maybe plug someone else into that role after WrestleMania season. Who else is there? I don't even know who you would even begin to give that role to. William Regal? I'd love to see Commissioner or GM William Regal back on television. He was the best GM that WWE had for a long period of time. And then Nick Aldis can go on his way to wrestle and be a top talent on Friday Night SmackDown, which right now they desperately need. I'm not asking for some long, drawn-out, elaborate Academy Award-winning storyline here. We get the consequences of what happened with Kevin Owens. He can't wrestle. The match was already made. He came out and said, I need neck surgery. There's nothing we can do about it. Nobody's really anticipating some elaborate story for Randy Orton. We're just asking for something that is going to get us excited. Does this excite you? Does Randy Orton and Solo Sikoa excite you? Does Randy Orton and Nick Aldis excite you? Does Randy Orton and Aleister Black excite you? Sure. But that last one comes with a slight problem that I just mentioned. I don't know if WWE is going to put Randy Orton on the card. He may be shit out of luck. This might not be his year to get a WrestleMania match, but he certainly has St. Louis and Backlash to look forward to because, by my calculations, it looks like Randy Orton will probably be in the WWE Championship match, being that he's already called for number 15 at Backlash, whether that's against Cody Rhodes or John Cena. I would rather just leave him off the card if the best that you have creatively is Solo Sikoa. No disrespect to the Bloodline fan base online and the fucking sea of Bloodline fanatics on social media. Your guy is not a WrestleMania caliber talent this year. Sorry. Women's Tag Team Championship. This was a gauntlet match. I am not a big fan of gauntlet matches, especially this one. I felt like every fucking match that we got, quote unquote match, had a commercial break in it. How could I get invested in a 16 gauntlet match if every match has a commercial break thrown in there? Now you look at the teams in this gauntlet match, and not many of them made sense. We had Bayley and Lyra start us off against Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. This match went 3 minutes. Gee, I wonder who won that match. Baszler suplexed Lyra. Zoe came off the top rope with the neck breaker. Baszler set Lyra up, and Lyra rolled onto Baszler and advanced for her and Bayley to the next match in this gauntlet match. So she rolled Baszler up and got the 1, 2, 3. Thanks for coming, Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. After that, we got Bayley and Lyra versus Natalya and Maxine Dupree. Now, I guess you could call Shayna and Zoe a tag team, being that they were Pure Fusion, Bed Bath & Beyond, I Can't Wait to Fall Asleep Collective. I guess they're a tag team. They don't have Sonya Deville anymore, so I guess it is what it is. You know who's not a tag team? Natalya and Maxine Dupree. This went 2 minutes. Wow, man, some thrilling action here on Friday Night SmackDown. So, Maxine did her worm elbow drop, which looked awful tonight. It looked awful. Awful. She did the worm. Bayley kicked out. Maxine then went for a sharpshooter on Bayley. And like the consummate professional that Bayley is, rolled Maxine up while she was trying to apply the sharpshooter. So Natalya was in there for what, 60 seconds? Natalya watched on the apron as Maxine got rolled up because Maxine wanted to make Natalya proud by using Natalya's own move. And by using Natalya's own move, she got beat. In a small package. 1, 2, 3. Out next is Kaden Carter and Katana Chance. This went 2 minutes. Wow, man. You know, I thought this was a gauntlet match. I thought you had to go in and survive. It was almost like they were doing a speed run in a video game. How could I finish this match as quickly as possible? I guess looking at how fucking depleted this division is, it might not have been such a bad thing. The only legit team in this entire gauntlet match is Kaden Carter and Katana Chance. That's it. Zoe and Shayna are not a tag team. They're just too late. They're two singles wrestlers paired together because there's nothing else for them to do. They were a part of a faction, and their leader is no longer there. Maxine and Natalya are not a tag team. Two random wrestlers on the roster paired together because they need bodies in this gauntlet match. Kaden Carter, Katana Chance are the only legit tag team and have been doing it for 5 years. That's it. Carter and Chance hit the keg stand. Lyra kicked out. Carter landed a corkscrew dive, which looked great. That was onto Bayley. That was outside. Lyra, she reversed whatever Katana was doing into a Nightwing, and she delivered the Nightwing on Katana Chance, and that was enough to advance. So Lyra and Bayley are rolling on here. So we got Lyra and Bayley beating Shayna and Zoe in 3 minutes. They beat Maxine and Natalya in 2 minutes, and they beat Katana and Kaden in 2 minutes. So by my math, that is 7 minutes of in-ring action between 3 tag team matches. If you think that is what the tag team division needs, then you might as well just burn the fucking titles. I don't know why we are even giving them a spotlight if this is the best that you have in the tag team division. Bayley and Lyra, they move on, and out comes the next team. The next team is B-Fab and Michin. Oh, wow, another 2 women who are not a tag team. Wow. And the crowd goes mild. Did anybody care about B-Fab and Michin? Did anybody care about them? No. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Michin drop-kicked Lyra. Hit a splash on her to follow while she was on the outside. Meanwhile, on the inside, Bayley hit a rose plant on B-Fab for the 1, 2, 3. And out comes the final team. This one went 10 minutes. I don't know why this wasn't the match to begin with. You might as well just have saved us all this time and given this match and these 4 women maybe 15 minutes of television time to tell a proper story. Bayley and Lyra versus Piper Niven and Alba Fire. The Secret Hervis. Gotta be a Road Dogg thing. Gotta be a Road Dogg idea. The Secret Hervis. So we'll pick it up towards the end here. Lyra ultimately gets a hot tag. Bayley was being beaten down because she was so spent. She was so spent after wrestling. 2-minute match, 2-minute match, 2-minute match, 2-minute match. She gets the hot tag. Lyra landed a crossbody onto Piper Niven. Lyra hits a tornado DDT on Piper. She went for a fisherman suplex. Piper countered into a suplex of her own. She then goes to the second rope. She salutes the crowd because she's a part of the Secret Hervis. Lyra cut Niven off and powerbombed her. Bayley tags in, hits a beautiful flying elbow drop. Piper Niven kicked out at a 1. Didn't even bother waiting for a 2. She just powered out of a 1. Piper followed that with a sidewalk slam on Bayley. Alba Fire tagged in and hit what appeared to be the Secret Hervis finish. I don't know what it was, but it looked good. We had Alba Fire come off the top rope with some flying swanton bomb while Piper Niven held Bayley in some uncompromised position. Lyra barely broke the pin up at 2.9. All 4 women are brawling in the middle of the ring. Bayley hits a belly to belly or Bayley to belly on Alba. Piper Niven landed a headbutt on Lyra. Lyra pushed Niven to the outside, and the two battled on the apron. Lyra powerbombed Niven onto the floor with the assist of Bayley, who drop-kicked Piper off the ropes. And then Lyra had enough momentum to powerbomb Piper Niven down to the floor. So Alba Fire's in the ring with Bayley. She rolled her up off the assist for 2. Alba then lifted Bayley. Bayley got loose, tagged in Lyra. Bayley hit a rose plant, and Lyra came off the top with a beautiful-looking top rope leg drop, and that was enough for the victory. 1, 2, 3. Bayley and Lyra Valkyria are going to WrestleMania to wrestle Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. They were watching this match at ringside, sitting by the commentary table. They were not on commentary, but they were sitting right out there, and they watched who their WrestleMania opponents would ultimately be. This entire gauntlet match was a waste of time. I don't really understand why WWE did what they did tonight. I just, they should be maximizing minutes. This is the way that I look at it. You may look at it differently because some people out there, they want everybody on the show for the sake of getting everybody on the show. And the more opportunities we have, it's a 3-hour show. Let's get everybody on the fucking show. That's not the way that I operate. I'm sorry. It's not the way that I think. It's not the way that I personally would do things. There are ways to make it better. This was shit. If you enjoyed this, God bless you. I don't know how B-Fab or Meechin or Caden Carter and Katana Chance and Maxine Dupree and fucking Natalia are getting over here. They were barely in the ring, and most of what you saw tonight had a fucking commercial break in it. WWE, if they wanted this to be serious, they would have just done Piper Niven and Alba Fire against Bayley and Lyra. That's it. That's it. I don't know why you didn't give those 4 women 15 minutes or so to do a great match and have it be a little bit more special, a little bit more impactful, a little bit more important. To crown number 1 contenders. If you wanted to do that so badly, crown number 1 contenders for Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. I don't know what these other teams have to do with each other. They're not even tag teams. They're not even tag teams. You should... I mean, if you're asking me personally what I would do, honestly, I'd burn the fucking titles. The tag team titles are absolutely fucking irrelevant. Irrelevant. We got rid of them in NXT. It's time to get rid of them on the main roster. You have 2 secondary women's championships for all these women to go out and fight for. Yet they're fighting over the tag team championships. They're nothing more than props for Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez to carry around so that they feel important. Liv doesn't need a championship to feel important. She's had a career 1.5 years. She don't need a title. She don't. Maximize your minutes. All you needed was the last match, and we would have been good to go. Give them 15, 20 to go tell a story, and you're good to go. Number 1 contenders, boom. Bayley and Lyra. Everybody else didn't matter. Alba Fire looked great. There was a great sense of urgency on Lyra. Piper Niven and Alba Fire, if you guys even want to start with tag teams, it's a solid fucking team right there. And I'm glad Alba has a second lease on life after Isla Dawn got fired. Because everybody thought Alba Fire was going to go the way of Isla Dawn, and she would be on her way out the door too. She looked great in there. You know who also looked great? Lyra and Bayley. I don't know what had happened. When they called Lyra up, they had these plans. When they called Lyra up, they had a vision for her to be the second coming of Becky Lynch. They crowned her the new Intercontinental Champion, the inaugural Intercontinental Champion. She has not gotten over since. They haven't done anything with her. They haven't really let her show who she is. All anybody knows of her is that she's Bird Girl. They come out and do woo to her theme music. That's it. But that match on Monday, I don't know if that was a turning point or not. I hope it is. I don't know if that is a turning point or not for Lyra, but that was a very good television match. Lyra beat Bayley, the scrappy, come from behind, underdog baby face who gets over by fucking gritting her teeth and working her ass off. That's what the Intercontinental title is for. That's what it's all about. Crowd got behind her. That resonated going into tonight. That translated coming into Seattle. Lyra and Bayley were very over. I don't know if it had anything to do with the Gauntlet match and them winning and winning and winning and winning and them getting to the final team and having this fresh Piper Niven and Alba Fire out there. And they were the underdogs, and they wanted to see them go all the way. I don't know if the whole structure of the Gauntlet match had anything to do with the fan reception tonight, but Lyra looked great. Bayley looked great. I thought they wrestled incredibly well together. I hope it's a turning point for Lyra because Lyra is fucking so incredibly underused and underutilized, it's criminal. She's very good. I don't know who she is, what she's about. She's like a cartoon character. She don't really act like a human being. I want to see who she is. What we're seeing is a very good pro wrestler. Let's hear from her and get some personality behind that. Working with Bayley is not a bad thing. Now, WWE's got something brewing here. They got something in the pipeline if they definitely want to experiment. The more Lyra gets over, the more I could see a Bayley heel turn. The more Lyra gets over, I could see Bayley going back and turning on Lyra. And that would also further enhance Lyra Valkyria as a babyface. And you get Bayley as a heel. I think Bayley's best work was as a heel. Imagine Bayley going back and being a heel. We all know she needs something to change. She is very plain and boring. There's nothing there. She's just Bayley. She just exists. She's trying to find a reason. She's trying to find a reason to belong. Women's championships with Nia, Royal Rumble fail, Elimination Chamber. And now she's in a tag team with Lyra. She got in. She's at WrestleMania. But I do think WWE's got something cooking there if they certainly want to get into the kitchen and fire up those grills. A Bayley heel turn on Lyra could do much more for Lyra than people are realizing. And that's what it's all about. I thought what they did was great as a tag team. I thought the last 10 minutes of this was really fun. We didn't need a gauntlet match. You just should give those women 20 minutes and had them go out there and tear the house down. That's all you needed to do. Maximize your minutes. You ain't getting B-Fab over in 90 seconds in a fucking gauntlet match where they come out and their entrance lasts longer than the in-ring action. It ain't happening. Joe Tessitore. They focused on the commentary team, and Joe Tess explained that Charlotte and Tiffany Stratton have been disciplined due to what happened last week. Management told Charlotte to stay at home this week. I was throwing a mini party right in my living room. The less of Charlotte we need to be subjected to, the better this show will be by default. Damian Priest. He's got his WrestleMania match against Drew McIntyre. That was made official. It will be a Sin City street fight. I knew it was going to be some sort of stipulation because they needed to add some dose of intensity to everything that they were doing. Damian Priest made his entrance, and while doing so, Drew McIntyre attacked him from behind. Priest was going to come out here, and I believe they were supposed to have a face-to-face. So Priest made his way out. McIntyre attacked him from behind. McIntyre slammed him into the LED board. I guess he didn't want to talk. Priest was helped to the back, and McIntyre grabbed the microphone, looking like Governor from The Walking Dead with his eye patch over his right eye. Because, you know, he got real glass in his eye. Real glass. Of course it was real glass. Priest was helped to the back. McIntyre grabbed the microphone. Drew used some eyeball or some seeing puns because he had the eye patch on and called out Priest, saying he benefited every time McIntyre got screwed. McIntyre noted how Priest challenged McIntyre to a street fight, even though McIntyre only has one eye, because that's the kind of man Damian Priest is. McIntyre's remarks were getting cheers from the crowd because, I mean, look at him. He looks fucking cool. He looks like Solid Snake from Metal Gear Solid. McIntyre then ripped off the eye patch and said, I am 100% cleared, which means Priest will be 100% screwed at WrestleMania. Damian Priest ran back out after he was attacked and thrown into the LED boards. He ran back out. He fought off officials to get back at Drew McIntyre. They got in the ring. Priest gave Drew a clothesline and a big splash in the corner. Priest comes back with a clothesline to Drew over the top rope. Now they're on the outside. McIntyre grabbed the steel steps and rammed them into Damian Priest's skull. Drew was bleeding. I don't know what from, but he was bleeding. Not much. McIntyre then gets up on the steel steps and positions them together. He brings Priest on top of the steel steps and delivers a future shock DDT on Damian Priest. It looked like it sucked for Drew McIntyre more so than Damian Priest. McIntyre then ripped a neck brace off of Priest's neck after the officials put one around his neck. And that's the way the segment came to a close. I thought this was very good. They needed to add a level of intensity to this because I think a lot of people are, honestly, can't blame them. They're not really invested. I think we understand that there is a long-term history between these guys. But is there a long-term story? A long-term story means it goes from point A to point B to point C to point D. Maybe a slight deviation away, but they come right back. They didn't really do much of anything past Money in the Bank. Or whenever it was, Bash in Berlin. They didn't do any of that. Or where were they? Clash of the Castle? One of those shows. Where Punk was the referee. Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre have history. But it's not long-term booking. It's not a long-term story. This is a situation of WWE not having anything for Damian Priest because they just moved him from Raw to SmackDown. This is WWE not really giving Priest much of anything after the move, and they were stuck without a spot for one of their bigger names in the last 12 months because they moved him from Raw to SmackDown. They did the same thing with Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre basically had to leave Monday Night Raw because I don't know if he remained on Raw, how he could remain on the same brand as CM Punk and them not continue to go at each other's throat. WWE Creative moved Priest and McIntyre over to SmackDown with no real solid plans. None. Drew McIntyre called out Cody Rhodes. Drew McIntyre, he was hunting the bloodline. I've said this for weeks. Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns was probably the most quintessential WrestleMania match for both guys, the one that made the most sense. If you were not going to do Roman and Rock, it absolutely should have been Roman and Drew. That was the vision. That was the thing that made the most sense. I don't know what went wrong. Was Rock supposed to wrestle Roman? Was Rock supposed to wrestle Cody? Was either of those matches supposed to happen? I don't know. We may never know. But there's absolutely no excuse for WWE to not even think about Roman and Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania. Because that was, if you really want something that made the most sense going into Mania, it was probably that match. But somehow we got Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre. The move from Raw to SmackDown did not benefit both guys this WrestleMania season, and they ended up getting stuck together because there was nothing else for either guy to do and no direction for either guy to go. Because at that point, WWE had already had visions of Cody and Cena, and they already had visions of Roman and Punk and Rollins. I mean, you eliminate those two fucking scenarios, you're left with nothing but Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest. Didn't really end up good for either guy, so they got stuck together with the premise of, sorry guys, there's nothing else for you but each other. It's basically what happened. Long-term booking? No. Can't call it long-term booking when Priest won the championship from McIntyre at WrestleMania, and they go through April, May, June, and July with scenario after scenario after scenario after scenario happening because CM Punk wanted to get revenge on Drew McIntyre. They went from April to July, and then they did SummerSlam, and McIntyre forgot about Priest and then focused all of his problems on CM Punk. And they didn't revisit Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest until literally this year at the Royal Rumble. August, September, October, November, December, January. You took 6 months off in between, and now you are pairing these two guys together because of history. I appreciate you trying to make sense of putting these two random guys together in a match, trying to make sense of it at WrestleMania, but to call it long-term booking, no, that's not long-term booking. That's not long-term booking. Long-term booking involves one guy and another guy, and it takes you through a fucking whole consecutive months of television. Can't call it long-term booking when April, May, June, July happens, and then you opt to take 6 months off because you want McIntyre to go on and do something infinitely more important with CM Punk. Now, with that said, they have done a very good job of building intensity and hatred and animosity between each other. McIntyre is one of the best talents that they have. Damian Priest has made himself into a main event guy. Coming out of last year's Mania, coming into this year's Mania, he's still a main event guy. He's had some banger matches, one of which was against Drew McIntyre. If you guys want a sleeper match at this year's Mania, you may be looking at it. Now you add a Sin City street fight stipulation to it, we could be looking at a banger. Priest is good. Very good at what he does. Drew McIntyre is excellent. We know the body of work that he's had. Don't doubt either one of these guys. I know it may not be what we want. It may not be as exciting as McIntyre and Roman or Priest going on and wrestling someone else, Fatu or someone else. I don't know. LA Knight. Randy Orton. I don't know. But don't doubt Drew McIntyre. Every time he gets a microphone in his hand and every time he steps into the ring, he is fucking great at what he does. And he makes you want to see him. He puts everything into what he's doing. Priest is the same way. Could be a sleeper match of the weekend. The Sin City street fight stipulation is a much needed one. And it really took it from being a, I don't know if I care about this, to now I'm slightly intrigued. DIY. And Pretty Deadly. They were watching footage from DIY's match last week. Ciampa says he thinks there is a conspiracy to keep DIY away from the tag team titles. Pretty Deadly said Gargano and Ciampa have gone crazy. Elton Prince said desperation doesn't look good on Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. The Machine Guns walked in. Chris Sabin said they're going to face the Street Profits next week on Friday Night SmackDown for the Tag Team Championships. Wake me when it's over. Have the Machine Guns flopped in WWE? I think enough time has passed to give the answer on that. And my answer is, yes, they have. Creative has not made them look good whatsoever. That's pretty fucking sad because both guys are fucking great. Rey Fenix. Second match in WWE. This week, he wrestled Berto or Humberto Carrillo. Last week, he wrestled Nathan Frazier from NXT, one half of Fraxium. Last week's match, I don't know what went wrong with Frazier and Fenix. I think Frazier tried to overcompensate. I think Frazier did a little bit too much. I think Frazier was doing 100 miles an hour in the right lane, trying to fucking speed through traffic. And he should have been doing a nice, cool, brisk 70. He turned things up a little bit too much last week, and it made the match good, but it could have been better. Still a good debut for Rey Fenix. He came out looking like a fucking stud. This week, we got Berto. Now, I know a lot of people really aren't high on Legado del Fantasma as of late. There's still hope to change that around. This was a lot better of a match for Rey Fenix than it was last week with Nathan Frazier. Both of these guys worked a better style. Both of these guys flowed and gelled much better than Fenix and Frazier last week. And I do think that, again, we talked about Lyra being underutilized and undervalued. I think Humberto is incredibly underrated. Incredibly underrated. I thought this was a much better performance for Rey Fenix because he was in there with somebody that was a little bit more like him and worked a style better to Rey Fenix than Nathan Frazier did. And I thought this resulted in probably the best match of the entire night. Fenix looks like a star. A lot of people are asking, well, why aren't the Lucha Brothers together? I mentioned this last week. You got Penta doing his thing on Monday night. You got Rey Fenix doing his thing on Friday night. It would be an easy decision to pair Fenix and Penta together and call them the Lucha Brothers when we all know the tag team division could absolutely use the Lucha Brothers. WWE's got to fix their tag team division because right now, it's pretty fucking lame. But Penta is more than likely going to walk out. I don't know if it's going to happen at WrestleMania. It could happen at Backlash with the Intercontinental Championship. He's on his way to being a champion. He's going to be a bigger star in this 1 year than he was in 5 years in AEW. Fact. He already feels like a bigger deal. He debuted on January 16th. He's been in the WWE for 2.5 months. He already feels like a bigger deal in 2.5 months than he did in 5 years in AEW. And I take nothing away from what he did in AEW. He was an OG. Penta and Fenix were part of that company's, some of that company's greatest matches ever. Take nothing away from him. But if you think he looks like a bigger deal in AEW than in WWE, you're fucking delusional. He's going to be a big singles guy. Fenix is going to be a big singles guy when they come back together because you know it's going to happen. And they're both where they need to be, and their stars are shining the brightest it could be. The Lucha Brothers coming together will be bigger than they ever have because both of their individual stars have been built up. I don't mind them being on separate brands. It makes it more intriguing. This was a very good match. Berto was very good. Fenix, he showed up tonight. We'll pick it up after the commercial break. Berto was in control. He had the upper hand. He ran into a boot from Fenix. Fenix followed up with a shotgun dropkick, which looked great off the top rope. He shot Berto repeatedly. Hits a moonsault headbutt from the top. Fenix followed with a double stomp on Berto's back. He starts to fire up, getting the crowd behind him. Chance of Phoenix, Phoenix. Hits a corkscrew splash over the ropes to the outside, which looked beautiful. Back inside, Phoenix landed a rolling frog splash for a 2 count. Berto, he then grabs a hold of Phoenix and placed Phoenix on the top rope and executed a leaping kick for a near fall. He then sunset flipped Phoenix and followed that with a sit-out powerbomb for another nice near fall 2 count. Phoenix was then perched on the top rope. Berto chopped his chest. Phoenix fights back, hits a jumping Frankensteiner. Berto is out. Phoenix goes for a cover and nearly nearly survives 2.9. Phoenix couldn't believe it. Berto comes back with a stiff-looking powerbomb. He goes for a cover. He gets a 2.5. Berto went to the top for a moonsault. Phoenix got to his feet to reset the match. Phoenix walked the top rope and delivered his big running style punt kick right in the face. And then Phoenix, right from there, landed the Mexican muscle buster for the 1-2-3. Very good TV match for Rey Fenix, who is now 2-0 in WWE. After the match, Escobar walked out. He forced Humberto to shake Rey Fenix's hand. Berto did so, but didn't want to. He did it out of respect for Santos. Escobar himself then shook Phoenix's hand, and that's the way the segment came to a close. I don't know what is going on here, but this is the most interesting that Legado del Fantasma have been on Friday nights in months. I don't know what's going on, but he's not treating Angel and Berto with respect. Andrade's looming in the shadows. He's trying to convince Berto and Angel that they may not need Santos Escobar, that they are great pro wrestlers. Don't let him talk down to you like that. I don't know if they're setting up those guys leaving Santos to ultimately join Andrade. I don't know what's going on here. But it looks like Phoenix is going to run through Legado until he gets to Santos. What Andrade means to that equation, I have no idea. But it is a little intriguing, and I will say that Legado hasn't done much of anything that anybody cares about. But getting involved with Rey Fenix, though it is stereotypical, I'm actually slightly intrigued to see where they go here. And the Andrade presence looming in the shadows, trying to be the good conscience of Berto and Angel, got to be leading to something. Let's get him on TV. Byron Saxton was backstage with Roxanne Perez. Remember we asked about Roxanne Perez not too long ago? Someone must have heard our request. Roxanne Perez is on the show. Perez was in front of Nick Aldis' office. Perez said she was ready to steal the show because Tiffy can't stand the pressure. Tiffany then showed up out of nowhere and said Perez could learn a thing or two from her. The two went back and forth in front of Nick Aldis' office until Nick Aldis actually walked out. Tiffany said she'd face Perez tonight in a match, and Nick Aldis says, let me think about it. Not really the best use of Roxanne Perez because Tiffany can't lose going into WrestleMania. But Roxanne Perez on the show, I'll take it. I don't know where she's going to eventually fit in. I thought she was a Monday Night Raw star. Did she get any brand affiliation? I could have swore she was a Raw star. No? Maybe she's one of those guys that are one of those individuals that floats back and forth. Maybe she's a free agent. So we got Roxanne Perez going one-on-one with Tiffany Stratton tonight, non-title, ahead of Tiffany defending that title against Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania. Chelsea Green. She was backstage trying to get into the trainer's room to talk to Alba Fyre and Piper Niven, but the door was locked. Zelina Vega walked by and told Chelsea Green she'd have to see what type of champion Chelsea Green is tonight because she's going to be out there without her secret Hervis. Zelina Vega and Chelsea Green went 1 minute. I kid you not. 1 minute. Chelsea Green started the match by throwing her dress at Vega and then attacking her. Chelsea hits a dropkick, sent Vega to the outside. Chelsea threw Vega into the crowd barricade and dropped Vega on top of the commentary table. Chelsea then threw Vega back into the ring and started yelling at the commentary team. And then all of a sudden, she got counted out. Now, I don't know why she was yelling at Joe Tessitore, but the referee administered his 10 count, and this was the quickest 10 count I may have ever witnessed. Zelina Vega wins in 1 minute. And I'm pretty sure that they will use this to further Zelina Vega getting a United States Championship match because she beat Chelsea Green by countout. She's got a victory now over Chelsea Green, which in their eyes could net her a United States Championship match. And nobody anywhere in the pro wrestling space legitimately gives a flying fuck about these two women. You're asking me to care about 1 minute. I could have done literally anything with 1 minute, and it would have been well worth my time, more so than this. Women's wrestling. We're on our way to great women's wrestling in 2025. 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes in a gauntlet match. 1 minute. Theoretically, if you really want to break it down, WWE had this match. That's one match. And then they had 4 other matches that didn't even amount to 10 minutes. WWE had, theoretically, 5 women's matches on this show, and the total wrestling between all 5 matches is less than 12 minutes. Yet you want me to sit here and fucking blow smoke up your ass about great women's wrestling in WWE. Go start another hashtag. It looks like they could use it. Santos Escobar was backstage with Berto. He didn't look upset with Berto in the ring after he lost to Fenix when he told him to shake Fenix's hand after the match was over. Backstage, he was upset. He said he was extremely disappointed in Humberto. Escobar wanted to go fight Fenix to congratulate him on a job well done. Angel left with Escobar after tapping Berto on the leg, signifying to him everything's going to be all right. Andrade approached Berto and told him he's a great wrestler and needs to keep his head up. Berto looked at Andrade and said, "Mind your own business." Again, I don't know where this is leading, but this is the most intriguing they've felt in about 9 months, so I'll take it. We got a Naomi vignette that aired, and this was all to build their WrestleMania match where it will be Naomi and Jade Cargill one-on-one at WrestleMania. I believe this is happening on night 1. I thought this was a very good vignette. I'm happy to see Naomi embracing the dark side. She basically, in so many words, told Jade Cargill to proceed with caution, and she went over her relationship with Bianca Belair and how she loved pushing Jade off of the loading dock onto a stationary vehicle through the windshield. That gave her the opportunity to move in on Bianca and have a budding relationship and a friendship with Bianca. Championship gold with Bianca. Basically calling Jade Cargill a leech and a fake, a fraud. Jade Cargill, she basically rebutted everything that Naomi had to say, saying that Naomi was jealous. I came in and I got the superstar treatment. I look like the superstar, and you jealous. I could sit here and say that I took all of that glow away from you, and you couldn't handle it. A storm is coming. Naomi tells Jade to proceed with caution. Never mind Jade. Jade is boring. Jade is unlikable. Everything about Jade just doesn't resonate with me. It's fake. Too rehearsed, too scripted, doesn't sound natural. Naomi, on the other hand. Naomi. I love that she's embracing the dark side, man. You slowly see her week by week now over the last couple of weeks. You see like what she's doing, man. She's got the makeup and the look. Tonight she had like these little razor blades like attached to her hair. She's got caution earrings. Proceed with caution. She is fully embracing the heel turn. Man, she's going to be great. She is going to be great. I don't give a fuck what anybody says, man. At WrestleMania, Naomi needs to win that first match. I don't think this is going to be a one and done, but Naomi needs to win that match at WrestleMania. Whether it's by nefarious means or we start to get a collection of talent around Naomi. I know some people have mentioned Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson of NXT. Little faction running around with Naomi. Naomi needs to win that first match at WrestleMania. But I'm loving what she's doing, man. She looks and sounds fantastic. I knew she would kill it. So good. Cody Rhodes. We got Cody Rhodes coming up with a promo. We'll get into that in just a second. I'm going to take a step away to look at you guys. Tell you guys that the super chats are still open. Get them on in. We'll hang out at the end of the show. And we'll read through all of them. Likes, get that like on the stream in. 1,000 likes is the goal. Right now, we're looking at 640 likes. So if you guys are in the chat and have not hit the thumbs up, make sure you guys go and do that for me. And I want to shout out all my chat here as we have 2,200 people in the OTS venue tonight and another several hundred on X. Thank you guys very much. Tonight, we are sponsored by my great friends over at ZBiotics. Make sure you guys go to zbiotics.com and everything you need will be linked in the description down below. Once again, 15% off your first purchase. ZBiotics, tonight's sponsor right here on Off the Script. That's not working. Give me a second. There you go. I'm going to hit you guys with a couple of harsh truths today, man. We're getting older. It's basically all I got to say. We're getting older. You and me, we're getting older. We can't go out and party like we used to. We can't go out and drink like we were 23 years old. It's not going to happen anymore. We as adults have responsibilities. Every time you go out and drink that one drink and you wake up the next morning and you say, man, I shouldn't have had that last drink. You end up regretting it. How do you feel the next morning? You feel like complete garbage. You don't feel your best. You don't go to work. Sometimes you call out of work. You don't go to the gym. Your gym schedule gets all messed up. Us content creators, that one video that everybody's waiting for doesn't get done. I got a surefire way for you guys to go out and have some fun and still get your work done and feel great the next morning. And it's all because of ZBiotics pre-alcohol probiotic drink. You drink responsibly, you keep hydrated, you pop one of these before any of that happens, and you're going to be good to go, man. Your nights are going to be great, and your next day is going to be even greater. ZBiotics pre-alcohol probiotic drink is the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking. And how it works, guys, is very simple. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut. It is this byproduct, not dehydration, that is to blame for your rough next day. Pre-alcohol produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down. So just remember to make ZBiotics your first drink of the night, and please drink responsibly, and you'll feel your very best tomorrow. So if you guys want to have yourself a couple of cold adult beverages and feel your very best tomorrow morning, make sure you choose ZBiotics. That's zbiotics.com. Use our unique link. I even pinned it at the top of the comment section down below and in the description of this very video. Make sure you use that to guide you where you guys need to be. 15% off your first order at checkout. And ZBiotics will even offer you a 100% money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied for any reason, they'll refund you your money, no questions asked. Once again, that's zbiotics.com. Use our unique link down below. And I want to thank them for, once again, sponsoring the podcast right here on Off the Script. Thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. Tonight sponsored by ZBiotics. Cody Rhodes. He's out there. There are a bunch of podiums in the middle of the ring. And each podium has that specific era of WWE World Championship. So we see all these championships in the ring behind Cody Rhodes. He's fired up. The Seattle crowd is welcoming Cody with the European-style chants that we got on the overseas tour. The overseas WrestleMania tour where they start singing, Cody Rhodes. I like that that's actually coming over here to the States. It's not as loud as it is in the United Kingdom or in Belgium or Amsterdam, but it's nice to see the American fans adopting some great crowd reactions from the UK crowd. He thanked them. Cody talked about when he did defy the independent promotion. That made people happy. Cody pointed to his title and said, "This title means you are the best wrestler in the world," as he points to the WWE Championship. Cody says he's blessed to carry the belt, but it won't always be on him. Cody says his Mania match is about keeping that title home, and Cody says it's about the 20 champions, and not just him. Cody said there is one man trying to take this all away, and that name is John Cena. We got a "Let's go Cena, Cena sucks" chant. And Cody said Cena has neglected to make Seattle a part of his farewell tour, and the crowd rightfully booed. This close to WrestleMania season, you should be on mostly all the shows. No excuses. Cody said Cena will be gracing us in Las Vegas next week for SmackDown. Cody said one thing. Cena said that sticks with him from what Cena said is about Cody's tattoo. He said that Cody is just a common fan because of the tattoo on his neck. Cody said, so what? He says he has that tattoo for the same reason he wears suits, and that's to be somebody. Cody ran through the titles on the tables, and he paid homage to all the former WWE champions. He mentioned Dusty Rhodes. He mentioned Latino Heat. That promptly got an Eddie chant. He mentioned Brock. He mentioned Cena. Cody spun the spinner belt that was sitting behind him. Cody said Cena looks at the spinner belt and considers it a bad thing, but Cody doesn't. Cody talked about how Cena said Cody isn't authentic. He said that he is the WWE champion and Cena is not. Cody might have to teach John Cena a lesson, and that is the crowd is allowed to love somebody else. Cody talked about all the other WWE stars in the locker room, from Sami Zayn to Randy Orton to Kevin Owens to Rhea Ripley to Liv Morgan, so on and so forth. This locker room, those talents that I mentioned, and everyone else that I haven't, we make each other better. So it's a nice little way, a nice endorsement from Cody Rhodes out there. He looked into the camera and said the bell is going to eventually ring, and he will leave Cena in the ring to have his moment because Cody's time is now while Cena's time is up. He said one day his time will be up too, but for now, Cody's title will stay home and stay with us. That was it. I thought Cody's promo made sense just coming off what they were doing with John Cena and Cody Rhodes for the last 3 weeks. I like the visual of the WWE Championships behind him and what they signify. It's basing it off of what John Cena says, with the whole Spinner Championship, that he's going to take the championship home and he's going to ruin pro wrestling. I like when Cody is serious. And Cody has been serious for a good portion of this build. He needs to be serious. Last year, it wasn't that easy for Cody. Cody's a little bit more determined. Cody's a little bit more angry. Cody's a little bit more of a man this WrestleMania season, where last year he's being thrown around and beaten and battered from every which direction because of Roman Reigns and The Rock. It seems Cody is in more control this year. We still don't know why Cena decided to align with The Rock. That's the only part of this that feels lacking. Are we going to get an answer to that? Are we going to get a follow-up to the chamber? We haven't heard from The Rock. We haven't heard from Cena. We haven't heard from either one of them. We haven't seen them on television together since March 1st. Are we going to get that next week when Cena's in Vegas? Is The Rock going to be in Vegas? Is The Rock going to be at Mania? Is the next time we see Cena and Rock in the ring together, is it going to be at Mania on Sunday night, April 20th? I don't know. If you guys feel like you need more, I don't really blame you. Cena has done a good job. Cody has done a good job. The face-to-face was great. When Cena stopped talking about him versus the fans after the first 2 weeks and really got down to business, mentioning everything he did in that third week, that third face-to-face, it finally became about Cena and Cody. I understand that Cena needed to get all that off of his chest, and he needed to really pave the way for what he was about to say to Cody in that third week. I'm glad that they went on and did what they did. I'm glad that they eventually made it about Cena and Cody. But if you sit there still not excited about what's happening here because of the lack of that one big plot hole, that big question, where's The Rock? What's the alignment? What's the alliance with The Rock? I don't blame you. It's the one thing everybody wanted to fucking figure out coming out of the Elimination Chamber. It's the one thing that we haven't got a fucking answer to. Cody's going to have a very difficult time keeping this thing together going into WrestleMania. Tonight, he had to cut a promo all on his own. And sure, it's 1 week. But what else could possibly be said between Cena and Cody next week? What else could be said that hasn't already been said? We need something next week. It's got to be something next week. I'm tired of the back and forth. I'm tired of the fucking promo battles. I'm tired of tit for tat on the microphone. I don't want to see it again. I got everything I need. I got everything I need from the first 3 weeks of Cena and Cody on the overseas tour, and I got enough of Cody tonight. I need to see action. I need to see you take everything that you said and apply it. I need a beatdown. I need The Rock. I need an answer to their alliance. I need blood. I need something that's going to take it to the next level. I can sit here and tell you Cody's a great promo. He is. I can sit here and tell you Cody's a great storyteller. He is. I can sit here and tell you that Cody, he really makes you feel. He does. I'm going to need more. I'm going to need more. I don't know what that more is and when that more comes. John Cena will be on next week's show. Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal next week. Vega, Chance, and Carter will take on the Chelsea Green regime next week. And the Profits will defend their tag team titles against the Motor City Machine Guns. Sounds like a very skippable SmackDown. Byron Saxton interviewed the Profits backstage. Montez says they like Motor City Machine Guns and referenced how they don't care about a bunch of stuff. But the reason they don't care about them is because they don't have them. Dawkins said something about the IWC. I don't know why he mentioned anything about the IWC. The IWC Glazers. I guess he's bringing in the indie-rific fucking fanatics, mentioning how they love the Motor City Machine Guns. Carmelo Hayes and Miz showed up. And Miz says that the fact that the tag team titles aren't on the Mania card is an insult to the titles and the Street Profits and what they're doing for the tag team titles. Miz says he's putting them on notice because of how much those tag team titles mean to him and what they should mean to the division. Mello says they're definitely looking at the titles and they want the smoke. Mello don't Miz. I don't know who asked for this. Who asked for a tag team of Carmelo Hayes and The Miz? Does anyone think that this is good television? Does anybody think that this is good television? I don't know why is the Miz always used as some gatekeeping talent? Like, the more I see the Miz gatekeeping a talent, oh, let's pair him with the Miz. He's got to find his way in somehow. No, all I see is you started the kid off right. He had a number one. He was a number one draft pick for SmackDown. And then you figured that you got nothing for him, so let's pair him with the Miz and some joke of a tag team. Mellow, don't Miz. I am the Miz, and he is him. Or whatever the fuck he said. I don't know. I don't know why anybody finds this to be entertaining. Tiffany Stratton and Roxanne Perez, this went 9 minutes. Don't know why Roxanne Perez is being used as a stepping stone for Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair, but I'm not booking the fucking show. Perez went for some early strikes. Tiffany caught her. Tiffany shoulder blocked Perez to the ground. She then came back and worked a side headlock. And we go into a commercial break here. Perez ran Tiffany into the ring post before the commercial break. We're back from the break. Spine buster by Tiffy. Roxanne went for Tiffany's arm and ran into a pop-up powerbomb for a 2 count. Tiffany missed a hip attack. Perez slammed Tiffany before stepping over her. Perez went for a moonsault from the second rope. Tiffany got her knees up. Tiffany went to the top rope. Perez cut her off and hit a Russian leg sweep from the top rope, followed by a kick right to the midsection. Roxanne went for Pop Rocks, her code red finish. Tiffany countered, and the two traded pin attempts to no avail. Perez worked a crossface, but Tiffany powered out. Perez slammed and hit the prettiest moonsault ever for the 1, 2, 3. So Tiffany slammed Perez down to the mat. Prettiest moonsault ever. 1, 2, 3, and that was over. After the match, Charlotte, who we were told was told to stay home, appeared in street clothes out of nowhere and attacked Tiffany Stratton and threw her over the commentary table. She started pushing Wade Barrett. Wade Barrett got in between Tiffany and Charlotte Flair. They had a weird standoff, and Charlotte stood on the commentary table with Wade Barrett telling her, "What are you doing? Stop." Charlotte yelling back at Wade Barrett, "What are you going to do about it?" Wade yelling at Charlotte, "I'm trying to help you." Stratton sold the midsection and the table bump on the floor. She was underneath the table. And that's the way the segment came to an end. I don't think anything could be done to rectify what happened last week. My opinion has not changed. Tiffany Stratton needs to win and walk out of WrestleMania as the WWE Women's Champion. If Charlotte is given the championship, we are in for a fucking disaster. Charlotte sabotaged this entire feud. Every twist and turn, Charlotte has tried to undermine Tiffany Stratton. Every single twist and turn, Charlotte tried to big league and make Tiffany look like a bitch. Now you're going to think about rewarding her at WrestleMania? No. That doesn't work that way. If I'm WWE, I'm teaching Charlotte a lesson. I'm having her go into WrestleMania and lose. You can't go into business for yourself and then expect WWE to give you the business. Tiffany Stratton needs to win. Charlotte needs to understand that you are back, A, because you're Charlotte Flair, but that doesn't mean you automatically win the Rumble and then get a championship fucking handed to you at WrestleMania because you're Charlotte Flair. You are 38 years old, and the division is slowly passing you by. Nobody gives a fuck about you breaking a fucking fake record. Nobody gives a shit about you breaking your father's record. You are not your father. Nobody gives a shit about any reign that you've held 14 times previously, and nobody thinks that you are even close to what your father did for the business. Nobody cares. My rant from last week still stands. Charlotte does not give a fuck about the division. She goes into business for herself, and the only thing that Charlotte wants to get over is Charlotte Flair. She should be in a business at 38 years old, or in the business at 38 years old, to put younger talent over. This is a star in the making. This is the future of your division. You should be doing everything in your power to make sure that the division is in a healthy spot, more healthy than you could possibly imagine, so that when you are not there, it is left in good hands. That's how your legacy is going to be made. No, but Charlotte doesn't think that way. She thinks that her legacy is the only one that matters, and her fake title runs and title reigns are what people are going to remember. Charlotte is the most unlikable character possibly in the history of WWE. And again, my opinion has not changed. I could be wrong. I could be very wrong. But my heart is the one speaking to you. Tiffany needs to win. If not, this division is dead. They went over the Mania cards. WrestleMania has its card. Matches official for both night 1 and night 2. Saturday's card looks like this. Main event, meaning the last match. Reigns, Punk, Rollins, triple threat. Jade Cargill versus Naomi. War Raiders versus The New Day for the WWE Tag Team Championships, or World Tag Team Championships. Rey Mysterio versus Grande Americano. LA Knight will defend the United States Championship against Jacob Fatu. Tiffany Stratton will defend against Charlotte Flair. Gunther will defend against Jey Uso. That's all on Saturday. Sunday, night 2. Bayley and Lyra will challenge Liv and Raquel for the women's tag team titles. Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre in a Sin City street fight. Penta, Dom, Braun, and Balor for the IC title. AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. Io Sky, Bianca Belair, and Rhea Ripley for the WWE Women's World Championship. And Cody Rhodes versus John Cena for the WWE Championship. 7 matches on night 1, 6 matches on night 2. We don't have an official Randy Orton match, which is the only thing that I'm thinking of for night 2 to round it out for 7 each. Doesn't look good on paper, folks. It looks like a Saudi show on paper, but I'm not going to grade the show based on what I look at on paper. Do I think it's going to be a good show? Sure. Am I excited more for this year's WrestleMania compared to last year? No. And for all the fucking AEW sickos who apparently are throwing it in WWE's face that WrestleMania is going to have 9 hours on each night. No, that's not the case. This show is not going to be 9 hours. 9 hours of pro wrestling on Saturday and Sunday, you got to be absolutely fucking mental if you think that's what that means. That's 9 hours, probably a 3-hour pre-show, probably a 4-hour WrestleMania on both nights at least, and then a 2-hour media scrum. Gee, man, could the sickos add? Nothing is worse than a fucking absolute D-level show like AEW Dynasty going 5.5 hours. And if there's one show that should be 4 hours, it's WrestleMania. So no, that does not mean WrestleMania 41 is going to be 9 hours each night. Nobody's handcuffing you and forcing you to watch a fucking 3-hour pre-show where no matches happen. Main event. Stereotypical WWE TV tag team match. Nothing crazy here. LA Knight, Randy Orton, Tama Tonga, Solo Sikoa. We still don't have Randy Orton's WrestleMania opponent. LA Knight will get Jacob Fatu at WrestleMania for the United States Championship on night 1. We'll pick it up here after the final commercial break. Orton was attempting to tag LA Knight, couldn't get there. Solo knocked Knight off the apron, worked a chin lock on Orton. Orton hits a back suplex, got the hot tag to LA Knight. Tama Tonga also tagged in. LA Knight took care of him, complete with a Russian leg sweep. LA Knight stomped on Tama Tonga, gave Solo a neck breaker. Knight power slammed Tama Tonga. He then landed his elbow drop on Tama. Solo broke up the pin attempt. Solo then hits a Samoan spike on LA Knight. Orton gave An RKO to Tonga and Solo brawled with Orton on the outside of the ring. The two battled into the crowd and they disappeared, which doesn't really bode well for Randy Orton if that is indeed the tease for his WrestleMania match. Back inside the ring, Knight gave Tama Tonga a BFT for the win. After the match, Jacob Fatu showed up and super kicked LA Knight. Jacob Fatu hit a running senton, headbutted LA Knight repeatedly. Fatu landed a hip attack on LA Knight, followed up with his mighty moonsault. He picked up the U.S. title, he threw it down, and then he went up top and delivered another moonsault. Show ended. He licked the U.S. title. We got the trademark logo up here on the screen, and he went up top, and after the trademark logo disappeared, he went up and hit a third mighty moonsault as SmackDown came to an end. Jacob Fatu is not winning the United States Championship. It will more than likely lead to Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu at Backlash, non-title. LA Knight just won it. Why would they take it off of him? Jacob Fatu's got many, many, many years to come to win multiple championships. He doesn't need a United States Championship right now. SmackDown was very dull, folks. SmackDown was very dull. Not a lot to like. Rey Fenix and Humberto Carrillo had a great match. Cody had a very good promo. Orton and Aldis had a good face-to-face. Didn't lead to nothing. Orton still doesn't have his WrestleMania match. Bayley and Lyra looked good tonight against Piper Niven and Alba Fire. Outside that, thumbs down show, folks. Thumbs down show. You guys, though, get a thumbs up. I'd love if you hit the thumbs up. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. We got 710 likes. Try and get that up to 1,000. I wish this SmackDown show was more, man. I wish this SmackDown show was a little bit more interesting for you, me, and everybody else. It's not. I don't know what to tell you. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Make sure you go check out all of the other content on the channel. There is plenty of content on the channel. Tonight's sponsor is Z-Biotics. Make sure you guys click the link in the description. It'll take you right there, man. Get yourself some Z-Biotics. 15% off when you use our unique link. And follow me on social media at JDfromNY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Let's get into these super chats and then get the hell out of here. Michael Krause with a $2 super chat. It's Android Friday, 8 days. Upgrade will be complete. I hope to God not, Michael. I hope to God not. He also leaves JDOTS. I hope everyone has a great weekend. You too, brother. I'll leave with a $5 super chat. Hey, JD, growing up, what was your favorite mobster movie? Was it Goodfellas, Casino, or The Godfather? I was Casino and Goodfellas. In no particular order. Johnny Boy Vaccaro with a $20 super chat. It's crazy that Naomi and Jade have a better build than Charlotte and Tiffany. They do. If Charlotte has a problem with Tiffany, how will she stand against NXT future women? The faster she retires, the better women in WWE will be. I agree, Johnny Boy. I agree. Jay Everington with a $10 super chat. The crowd chants are getting annoying. I'm all for audience participation, but it's gotten a little tiresome. Chants are no substitute for a good pop. And what would the main event of an AEW WWE Forbidden Door pay-per-view be? That's a good question. Will Ospreay versus Gunther. MJF versus Roman Reigns. Kenny Omega versus AJ Styles. We could make a great card between the two companies, but that is all a fabrication. That will only live in people's fantasies. That will not ever happen, ever. Mark of Cain with a 5 and a 2. I think it's clear. Heyman is going to screw Punk just like you said. I'm reminded of Paul Bearer screwing Undertaker in 1995 at the Boiler Room Brawl, SummerSlam. Listen, man. A bond that you thought would never be broken was Paul Bearer and The Undertaker. I could absolutely see Heyman turn on Punk. The 1996 Boiler Room Brawl, you meant, yes. Timmy No Turner with a 199. Cody, MLK speeches every week, yawn. It's just lazy television. Just lazy television. Especially during the season where we expect the most. It feels like the bare minimum. Tribal Chief with a $2 super chat. JD, I don't know about you, but I'm not excited for Mania. I'm excited for Mania in certain aspects. As a whole, totality, I am not. I couldn't even imagine being there. If I decided to go to Mania this year in Vegas, I probably would be regretting my decision. The Joker's Voice with a 6 months. Hail JD and the OTS family. Not going to WrestleMania in my town, so doing next best thing. NXT Stand and Deliver. Floor seats are $125. JMO Ginger Ice Cold. Thank you, Joker's Voice. I heard that they were having a problem selling out that venue for Stand and Deliver. Is that true? Hardcore Kevin with a $2 super chat. What's up, JD? Do you have any Lunchables? Bro, Lunchables is processed dog shit. You couldn't pay me to eat Lunchables, bro. No. Vincent Tarantini with 35 months. WrestleMania 41 is almost here. Let's fucking go. Thank you for 35 months, brother. Omega Kong with 38 months. So I'm undecided. I live in Phoenix. Do I go to WrestleMania or save my money? I would like your honest and true opinion. Omega Kong, you want my honest opinion? I would save my money. Lauren with a 2. Are we getting Aldis versus Orton at Mania 41? I don't think so. If that was the case, I think they would have decided on that tonight. Triple M. Nasty day. Power flickered a few times. It sucked. Yeah, it was a nasty day too here, bro. It rained all day. It's nothing but fucking wet. Just want some sun. Devil Jinx with a 5. Want Cena? Should have bought the C Nation edition. $79.99. Want The Rock? Should have bought the Rocky Rhodes edition, $129. I feel robbed. Bro, if you're talking about WWE 2K25, bro, in 5 months that's going to be on the free thing that PlayStation gives you for free games every month. That's how I got WWE 2K24. It's the same fucking game. Willie Teague with 3. You think the Braves are going to turn it around? I do. Right now, I don't care. I just don't care. It doesn't bother me. It used to bother younger me. It doesn't bother me no more. Rashad Freelove with a 4.99. It's sad, but the one show you don't cover, NXT, might arguably be the most exciting out of the 3. Bro, if you thought that show on Tuesday was a good show, man, you are a little loopy. No, NXT is dog shit. I don't know why people say it's the best show. It is fucking a tough watch every week. The acting is terrible. The promos are terrible. I still get people asking me, can you move TNT with Solid Monster to Thursday? No. No, I will not. There's no need. Absolutely no need. Mike with a 50, brother. Thank you so much earlier for the 50 mini bomb. Mega. I don't know how to pronounce this. Mega Haogi with a $10 super chat. Hey, JD, found your channel after Brawl Out and basically haven't missed an upload since. Much love. These streams have got me through some time. Sad to see what happened to AEW. OTS for life. Thank you, Mega. Man, I was such a fan of AEW. I still am a fan of AEW, but I do not support their business practices, and I do not support the current vision of the company. I think it's fucking complete garbage. Yeah, basically, I'm watching NXT for Stephanie Valkyria and her only. That's really it. Honestly. Justin with a 32 months. Justin with 32 months. So I'm hearing that WrestleMania is going 9 hours both nights. If that's true, I don't know how you feel about that. Bro, it's not going 9 hours. The actual wrestling show will probably be 3.5 hours, 4 hours maximum. You're going to get a 3-hour pre-show. The show probably won't start till 7 o'clock. You'll get a fucking 4 p.m. pre-show. Eastern. It's going to be an all-day thing, man. This is their Super Bowl. I don't know why people are looking at this like the Super Bowl coverage starts at what time? Noon on fucking Super Bowl Sunday? That doesn't mean the Super Bowl is fucking 12 hours long. Do you want to watch? Are you that much of a nerd that you're going to sit there and watch fucking scripted promos for 3 hours? And scripted dialogue and opinions that don't really matter, that fit the narrative in the WWE bubble. Nobody's asking you to watch that. The actual show from 7 to 11 is what we're there for. That's 4 hours. That's it. And then you're going to get a 2-hour post-show or pre-show, scrum, whatever. Media scrum. Lauren with a 2. Nick Aldis really does seem like the heel, right? If he wants to play a heel, I'm sure he's a great heel. Walker Stubbs with a $4.99. Hey, JD, what is your prediction on the Rollins-Roman Punk match? Rollins wins by pinning CM Punk. 352 card guy with a $5 super chat. I wish HBK was created for SmackDown at this point. Be careful what you wish for, bro. Shawn Michaels is as reckless as anybody. Wrestling Bro with a $4.99. Was their live crowd hot, but objectively show sucked? Oh, you mean? I thought you were asking me a question. You were there live. Crowd was hot, but the show sucked. Yes. Yeah, you guys came across well on TV. The show was not good. Joey Taylor with a $10 super chat. 2 things. Drew vs. Damian could steal the show at WrestleMania in the street fight. I've been watching Damian for decades, since he was Punisher Martinez in Ring of Honor. Steal the show? I don't know, man. It could be a sleeper match. It could be a sleeper match. Not the sleeper match, but a sleeper match. Main event, 81. 29 months. My girlfriend is a casual and was watching AEW and said $4,000 8-man tag team match made no sense at all to her. Also, said hi to your cats. She's a cat lover. Well, thank you. You can tell her I said thank you, main event. Freddie appreciates it. Bayley appreciates it. Horatio with a $2 super chat. Shayna Baszler crying emoji. Yeah, this is Shayna's last WWE contract, I would assume. Baby Huey with a $9.99. Naomi won't be heel long. She doesn't give heel energy. Her wrestling moves don't have impact. Jade getting attacked. There's no way in hell Jade takes the L at Mania. Naomi's putting her over. Naomi's not staying heel long. I don't think that's true at all. I think Naomi is the heel for the duration here. They played this shit out over how many months now? They're not going to quickly turn her back to what she was. Hardy Punk with the 2. Randy mentioned his 20th Mania appearance. Steps. I'm not sure what you mean. Michael Krause with the 2. Cena is advertised for next Friday. Yes, he is. What he does, who knows? Ness Coney with a $5 super chat. Naomi's completely outshining Jade. Not sure the writers expected that. Well, Naomi is the pro and Jade is the rookie. Not surprised. Furious Nation with 42 months. Hey, JD, just wanted to say that my foot surgery was a success, and I'm really sorry for your loss regarding Kevin Castle. Great man. Raw is greater than SmackDown, to be honest. Thank you, brother. Wish you nothing but a speedy recovery there. Todd French, 600 with a 5. I'm hoping that they don't let Charlotte do to Tiffy what she did to Toni Storm. Toni could have been a megastar. They need to put Tiff over. Cook. Bro, WWE dropped the ball so big on Toni Storm. Toni Storm's presentation in WWE and NXT was great. I don't know what the fuck they did. Big Steve with the 6 months. What's up, JD? Hope you're feeling better. Rest in peace, Kevin Castle. Thank you, brother. I feel all right. Outside being sleepy and tired, I'm all right. And Hardy Punk with a 2. Double turn. Cena gets fan love. Cody crashes out. No. No, we're not getting a double turn. Cody is not going heel. I don't know why anybody wants to see Cody heel, man. Thank you guys for a great stream. You guys are awesome. Best in the world, Matt. Thank you again, brother, for the $300 bomb. I will see you guys back, I don't know, Monday for Raw. If there's any news, I will give you guys an extra this weekend. I may, no promises, absolutely no promises. I may go live for Collision tomorrow night. I'm not really sure. We will see. We will see. I don't know. Sinister with 18 months. Rest easy, Mr. Castle. Much love, brother. Hope you've been well mentally, physically, and spiritually. I'm working on it, bro. It's tough. And Rabbit with a 5. It looks like DDP is inducting Luger into the Hall of Fame, so no Sting. Of course, Tony's not going to allow it. Thank you guys for the great stream. Follow me on social media. At JDfromNY206. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Hit that thumbs up. And I'll see you right back here with more on Off the Script. Until then, guys, have a great weekend.